If you want a litmus test of God, then you look at the death penalty. I mean, what father would ever demand the death of their child because that father's sense of justice had been offended? Who? No father would do that.
If we follow the gospel, and if we are true to that, Christ tells us that you are to care for those who are in the prison system. You are to forgive. You are to be understanding. It doesn't mean that you wipe it away or ignore what happened. But that power over life and death is not given to us.
Catholic Mobilizing lays it out very clearly. It's the dignity of each human being that's important, and that's why we want you to join us in ending the death penalty.
It has the expertise and the skill and the connections both within the church and within the broader anti-death penalty movement to actually make change at a policy level.
One of the things that has been so inspiring for me is to see that over the last 10 years, 7 states have repealed the death penalty. So in the course of all the mobilizing and all the Catholics who are calling their legislators and writing letters and calling for clemency for people who are on death row and voicing their opposition to the death penalty, that in that span of time, 10 years, we've been able to repeal 7 states.
I actually had a student walk in my office last week and said, okay, I get that we're against the death penalty as a church. But what about those really terrible crimes? When they happen, I get really emotional and then I want to put them to death. And I said, that's why we have to make the choice ahead of time and ground that choice in our values. And then we don't let our emotions take over when humans do the worst things that they can do to each other.
I think if you think about the death penalty, you're going to have to end up thinking about restorative justice. If you really think, for example, the death penalty is for the most heinous of the heinous, and you sort of dehumanize, then it's very easy to continue with a retributive model.
Some forms of justice are asking, what did the person do wrong and what do they deserve as punishment? And I think God's justice and restorative justice is asking, what harm was done and how do we heal the wounds of that? It leaves room for both the victims and the victimizers to be healed.
Execution cuts off an opportunity for healing, an opportunity for the person and the perpetrator to come together in a restorative way, a restorative justice kind of way, come together and be healed as either both perpetrator or victim.
When you start letting go of some of all this resentment and anger and this vengeance, you just start feeling a whole lot better. It doesn't take the hurt away. The pain will always be there, but you can do something.
Will be eternally grateful for all the many people that brought their gifts and talents to Catholic Mobilizing Network and shaped the organization to what it is today.
I think in the next 10 years, we get to see the end of the death penalty and really boost what restorative justice is all about. That's the mission. Let's get it done.